clue on how I had to solve them. Black Mask, Batman, Robin. Last man standing on the threshold. Let any shot you lick be the best flow. Top 5 battle for the best flow. Shorty Coke bottle, but the neck though. Loud pack got him feeling petrol.
Back to Conversations with a Diva, where we have real stories, real conversation, and real inspiration. I am your host, the beautiful, the talented, the sexy, and the intellectual host, Kira Deevah, okay? And today, we have a special guest. He goes by the name of City the Great.
Peace, peace.
Okay, City the Great. Now, he's from East New York, Brooklyn. Let's talk about your experience in East New York.
East New York is a bad rap. You know what I'm saying? It's a community. You know what I'm saying? We learn fast out there. There's a lot of obstacles. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's the forgotten area, but we had a lot of greats come from there. You know what I'm saying? The Fat Boys came from there. Tony Danza came from there. Like, you know what I'm saying? See, the Great came from there. But, you know what I mean? It's definitely a neighborhood you learn. You learn how to survive in. You know what I mean?
So, okay, I like when you talk about survival. So were you mentored by the Fat Boys? I know you said the Fat Boys, you have Grandmaster Vic, Special Ed. Talk about these mentorships that you...
So, Special Ed really, that's the initiation of the mentoring. I met him through my homeboy Daniel, which is his first cousin. For years, he just said that, you know, Ed was his cousin, and I was like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? And then I did a bid, he did a bid, and when he came home and I was back heavy into the music, he let Ed hear some stuff, and he linked us up together, and then Ed started to mentor me and teach me the business and how to move. Cool Rock Ski, I met him later on. We met, I want to say, right after COVID. You know what I'm saying? We partnered up on this the summer event that we do in East New York. That's for the community over at Gersh Park, sponsored by Dana White from UFC, free food and everything else. But he began to mentor me as well and walk me in a few doors and give me some opportunities. You know what I mean? Those are my main mentors. Everyone else was, you know, they played pivotal parts in my journey, but those are the guys that kind of like showed me how to move in this game.
I appreciate that. Now, pardon me for not actually acknowledging who you are. So you're a visionary. You're a student of the culture, so to say. Let's talk about that part.
Yeah, like hip hop. Alright, so for me, hip hop has been the one main thing that has always been stable in my life. You know what I'm saying? It's been consistent in my life since I was a kid. You know what I mean? It's been my way of kind of like therapeutically dealing with emotion. You know what I'm saying? Because like young black men, we're not taught how to deal with emotion. We're told we're not supposed to cry and that we bottle it up. And you know what I'm saying? So hip hop has meant a lot to me from my journey. Having the opportunity to meet these legends and everybody else that kind of like my older cousin Andre put me onto, because I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? So he was putting me onto these guys, and the opportunity to meet these guys and work with them, you know what I'm saying? It's just I learned more about the culture, how it started for real, you know, different things that happened, you know what I mean? So like that's how I feel as far as being a student of it, you know what I mean?
Now, what about the wordsmith?
The wordsmith.
Let's talk about that. Do you feel like you are a wordsmith? Or...
Oh yeah. Anybody who can pick up the microphone and write. But let's get that part off first. That can write and create a vision and share that with the world is a wordsmith. You know, and wordsmith is actually what MCs called at one point. You know what I mean?
That's not easy to do, you know, being a wordsmith. So I commend you on it. Anyone that can put a pen to a paper and bring melodies up, you know, create life. That's amazing. And I want to dive a little deep. Let's talk about you lost both of your parents. You know, how is that? Navigating through life these days.
Well, I was a kid, so my father died when I was about like 10 years old. And then my mother died shortly after, like when I was 14. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was kind of rough to process because, you know, I did grow up in a single family home, but my father wasn't like an absent father. You know what I'm saying? Like he was there. I seen him on the weekends and things like that. But you know, it was hard to process because once again, we, you know, at that age, it was taught like, you know, men don't cry. So bottling that stuff up, not getting the proper help, you know, led to me doing some wild stuff, you know what I'm saying, throughout my journey of life. You know what I mean?
So you started writing at 9. You said then you said they passed. Your father passed away at 10. What did that continue as far as the writing because of the passing? And do you feel like, or did you start writing more because you just needed an outlet?
I want to say, so I was hooked to it from the start when I started writing, right? But as far as having something to talk about, that was the initiation of it. You know what I'm saying? Like actually like talking about, because you know, like when I'm 9 years old, what am I talking about? It's not really the school. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like school. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. I'm mad. I'm on punishment. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when he passed, it was more like I started to talk about certain things, like his funeral or this or that. You know what I mean? Like I was able to. It was like a diary, per se. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now you did time. What did you learn from that? Listen, what we talking?
Well, I mean, like put it like this. When I went into the system, right, I got to see a lot of things, like as far as like loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that we choose to be loyal to, and those are all like illusions. You know what I'm saying? Because like when there's time on the table, everybody can't handle that type of pressure. I had co-defendants, so needless to say, I was the only one that did time. But I don't regret it because that time that I did gave me time to reflect on what I was doing and the path I was headed to. So it was much needed, you know what I mean? I don't regret, you know, being told on or none of that because, like I said, like it changed everything for me. I wouldn't be who I am today. And honestly, I feel like as wild as it might sound, prison saved my life. You know what I'm saying? Prison saved my life. So, but there was definitely a lot to learn from there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a mental game. So you understand that the system is designed in a certain way where they give you all the tools for your mind not to grow. You know what I mean? Like I spent the time. I didn't watch TV. I watched the news, but I didn't watch television shows. I didn't watch sports. I left all that alone, and I was just focused on reading books and going to the law library and just strengthening my mind. I wasn't in there playing cards and all this other foolishness. You know what I'm saying?
That tells a lot.
Yeah.
It's all about how you apply your mind.
Yeah.
So we're gonna come back and regroup, but before we come back, I want to talk about this. The syllabus. It's 20 songs up there. We're gonna get to one of those songs on the album, but let's talk about the inspiration behind that.
The syllabus. So the syllabus is like it's like a compilation of my journey. You know what I'm saying? As well as like from educating the masterclass on the art of lyricism. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like rapping has gotten to a weird space. You know what I'm saying? And the culture, how the culture is represented in music today is kind of like in a weird space too. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to bring it back to the essence, like taken from the start to present day. You know what I mean? So you can look at the syllabus as what it is. It's a syllabus. You know what I mean? You can learn from it.
I like that. We're going to get to this video of New York sounds like this. Now, what inspired you to create this track?
Frustration with New York. Because New York was in a place where dudes was sounding like they wasn't from New York. You know what I'm saying? And I understand why, but we just didn't need to conform to that. You know what I'm saying? So I was just frustrated because, you know, we have our own sound, we have our own culture, and we've been the trendsetters. You know what I mean?
Okay, you hear that? Let's get to it. New York sounds like this. City the Great. We'll come back. All right.
I gotta use the phone, but so.
New York sound like this. New York sound like this. New York sound like this. Yeah. Come on. New York sound like this. Whoa. Raise up from the bottom, man, we started this. About to put you suckers on the target list. But everybody talking like they father did. Since the gas stove lit, we gon' spark it then. Whoa. New York sound like this. 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 We raise up from the bottom, man, we started this. About to put you suckers on the target list. But everybody talking like they father did. Since the gas stove lit, we gon' spark it then. Whoa. New York sound like this. New York sound.
All right, you guys, we are back. That was New York Sounds Like This from City to Great. Watch the video, okay? Now, your birthday was just here, January 8th. Now, what happened? How was your birthday?
Oh, it was wonderful. You know, my wife had me a nice little steak dinner and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. How important is to have a solid foundation with you as far as having your wife navigating through this industry?
Very important because she keeps me grounded. Like, honestly, there was a point where I kind of was discouraged at doing this. You know what I mean? But she's the one who initiated this, like, and sparked me back up. Because, you know, like like I said, when I did my time, there's nothing. What am I talking about? You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to write about. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I came home, I kind of wasn't in the field for it, and she sparked me back up. And once again, like, this started with a Disney microphone that was my daughter's for singing. You know what I mean? Because I had no microphone, and a computer I got from my job they was throwing away or whatever. Downloaded some software. She took a cloth closet and turned that into a booth, and that's where it started. You know what I mean? And she continues to support, like, all the backdrops and my home studio and everything. Like, she designs it, builds it, she pushes me. So it's very important to have that and the understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because she understands what this is, and navigating through this. You know what I mean? And she keeps her eyes open for me.
She believes in you.
Yeah.
Not everybody have that, so you're blessed. You know,
Definitely blessed.
People need to understand what's important out here. You gotta have a solid partner, solid foundation, something solid. You can't go nowhere without something solid. Yeah. I'm just keeping it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're as good as you're as good as your surrounding.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
Would you call yourself a versatile lyricist?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely versatile. You know what I'm saying? I can do anything, but I choose to do what I feel like best represents me, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
No. Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay? Because everybody can't do what best represents them. So I like that. Yeah. Now, I want to say some words. I want you to just tell me what they mean or just explain it. Go a little bit more in depth about it.
Okay.
Alien Gang.
Ha. That's the guys. You know what I mean? That's my brothers. Alien Gang was founded by Kid Vicious, who's the brother of Royce the 5'9". You know what I'm saying? And we met through me and Vish met through a mutual friend named Rain. Okay. Which is one of my partners in rhyme. You know what I mean? Me and Rain did a joint project called The Guillotine. And Rain is from Flint, Michigan. Dope lyricist. Yeah, he introduced me to Vicious. I seen what Vicious was doing online with his building the community. I thought it was super fire. I was like, I gotta support this. You know what I mean? Because he was bringing a lot of people together. And then came the point where we started to make music together. Myself, him, Armani Rain, Rap God X, Jet Suede, Jason C, and everybody from different parts of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got me from New York. You got Almighty Rain, who's in Georgia, Atlanta. You got, Vish, obviously, in Detroit. You got Rap God in Florida. Jason C is in Cali. You know, Jet Suede is in Ohio. You know what I'm saying? So we're all spread out, but it's a collective of some unique MCs. There's gonna be some things dropping soon. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. All right. That was a very in depth. I like that. I like Alien Game.
Alien Game.
Yeah, so you got a different side to him.
Yeah, and there's a meaning behind Alien because today
Look.
yeah, you got me cooking now. Today, like, showing love is weird to people. So us showing love, like, we show love to other talents, other artists, whoever, you know what I'm saying? And we unify. We try to be unified. So today that seemed, for some reason, weird, or just to be real is weird today. So that defines the meaning of being of an alien mind state, because it's foreign to these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's deep. I like that. It is foreign. All right. What now? Sin Media.
Sin Media.
Let's talk about it.
All right. So Sin Media. So as we know, Special Ed's original label was Simi Records. When moving on to like more digital and NFTs and things like that, you saw the Sin Media. You know what I mean? Currently, it's not an operational thing, but it was something that we were doing at one point. Right now it's about SEAL, which is Special Ed Arts and Literacy, which is something that Big Bro's doing. And I'm kind of like, I guess you could say I'm a case study, which is dealing with mentorship. So like right now he's going into schools, talking to these kids, you know what I'm saying, getting their mind right. Because he was a child star himself at one point, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a representation of what the mentorship can do, because it's changed my life, you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was doing that. Okay, this is great. Look at you. You're putting on. I'm on it. Now, MIA Group, explain that. Let's talk about it.
All right. Yeah, that was a shout out to Jax. You know what I mean?
History on. Let's see what's going on.
So, back in the day, when I was, younger and writing, I was probably, I want to say 15 or so, or whatever it was. But my uncle was friends with Andre Matthews, who is a name in the industry, and his son is Justin Matthews. So they put us together, we came together, we became a group. And that group was called MIA, which was Militant Industry Action. And we were on the table at the time for Sony. We went through an artist development situation. For him, he got into some legal trouble, and that was the end. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, they were only looking for groups. We tried to go for a solo deal for me, but they were only looking for groups at that point. You know what I mean?
What did you learn from that situation?
I mean, I can't say this. I learned from the artist development side, I learned the art of recording. Like, recording isn't exactly like just get in front of a microphone and like, that's not what it is. It's more like, it's a science to it. It's kind of like positioning, distance, frequency, tone. Like, so I learned how to professionally record at a young age. I learned how to write a song. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, I've written what I would deem songs, but I didn't understand music theory. So I learned that. We learned how to actually write. Because rapping, a lot of people can rap their ass off, but they might not be able to make a song. You know what I'm saying? So we went through that. Yeah, it was a few things that we did that I learned from that I use today that's helped me today. You know what I mean?
So I know you have the certified Nation Entertainment. So would you ever sign to a major label? Or I know about the Rock Nation distribution. So let's talk about what would you really do?
Well, as far as would I sign to a major? I wouldn't sign to a major. I'm down for partnering. Okay. Like, we can partner. It's a different conversation for me. Because at this point, there's nothing they can give me that I need, per se. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like so the thing with dealing with labels is when you're dealing with a label, you got to know what you want. Okay. You can't just walk in there, I want a record deal. Like, what a lot of people don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? If you're a recording artist, which, you know, in today's time, there's really no more record deals, but, you know, album deal, it could be a single deal, it could be all kinds of deals, but there's other deals. There's distribution, there's publishing, there's different types of deals. But I'm open to partnering, you know what I'm saying, with a major if it fits the benefit and if it makes sense. Right now, you know, like I said, I got the distribution. I per se enjoy the distribution, should we say?
Oh, that's good. Most people don't, you know, they don't commend their distribution. So
yeah, you know, I mean, because people's expectation, once again, you got to know what that is. People expect, like, oh, I got distribution with, whether it's Rock Nation, Sony Orchard, or whoever. Yeah. They think that because you have this distribution, now you're gonna be Taylor Swift or something like that. That's not how it works. Their purpose is to get your music to the world. And with the difference between a major distribution versus a TuneCore or DistroKid and CD Baby and all that is your music is everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah. There is nowhere you can listen to City to Great on a Peloton. If you're on an airplane, you can listen to City to Great. There's no restrictions, no country restrictions, nothing. You know what I mean? So that's good. You know, and I'm not being charged fees. However, there is percentages when you get a distribution deal. Now, you can also get a distribution deal with a budget, but that would be a distribution and marketing deal. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, see, people know their stuff.
Yeah, so it's just you got to know what you want when you go in there. As far as Certified Nation goes, a lot of people get it confused because I know everyone's seen Special Ed on Drink Champs, and he said I had a label. It's not exactly a label, it's an entertainment company, which we work with artists. You know, we help them to advance their careers. You could get mixing and mastering and everything. We work with all budgets, and we educate the artists. You know what I'm saying? Because the information is the most important part. You know what I mean?
It really is. Because most people don't know. They will spend that money for that feature instead of getting a online presence together. Like,
Like, you got to know what you're paying for. You got to know what these services are. And I'm a firm believer in sharing the information. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to get to another video. This is one of Tomorrow's Not Promised. It's a freestyle. I liked it. But what convinced you to just spit these bars? I don't know. Like, you be
for that one? All right, so this is an interesting story. Like, so, I mean, I've been watching everything going on in the world. You know, I've studied a lot of different and researched a lot of different information. And I was laying in the bed. I was actually laying down when I wrote this, but it sound bugged out. But I was laying in the bed and I was just thinking out. The night before, I was thinking about this. I woke up thinking about it. My soul just felt like I needed to do it. I wrote it. I had these beats I was hanging on to. And I listened to this beat. This beat was perfect. And I went and recorded it. You know what I'm saying? Because the spirit told me to. You know what I mean?
All right. Let's get to it. We're going to come back and regroup with City to Great.
Oppressive conditions that have existed here.
What is the price paid when ICE raid? The fate of humanity is more than just a light trade. Food for thought, knowing the FDA won't like my grade. New York state of mind, approaching war on the night train. Power to the people, this runs deeper than my shade. I'm Fred Hampton, Malcolm X, and Marcus Garvey. A million men marching the army while gangsters party. Y'all too wrapped up on these lists for eyes to see the risk when democracy assumes the role of colonists. Nazis became Klansmen and Klansmen became agents. We brag about whips and chains and you on that slave ship. Manufactured racism designed to divide and conquer. Might die a martyr knowing the mind design inside this vessel could fight the monster. Rage against the machine, decoding the constitutional license. I bear arms, so this is the revolution. My Newton's law is power to the people, I'm P. Newton. Been killing us for years, y'all justified these shootings. Look at the minister, they try to silence his global movements. My brother's keeper, this isn't Cain and Abel or Judas. This is life or death, the final decisions inside the sniper's breath before he let the trigger go. Trigger foe, hope I trigger, hope for a bigger scope. Forget a vote, we all been bamboozled, but what's a bigger joke? The social media mind fuck, AI's a different stroke. I will not be a victim of the system of rich and poor. It's NWO, I'm NW.
All right, and we're here at Deevah with City the Great. He talking his talk. And I'm about to ask some more questions, okay? Now we're gonna go back to these one-worders, these one-liners, because I just want to see where your mind is at. Chris Gotti.
Ooh, yeah. Shout out to Chris Gotti. Adventures Music. Ooh, all right, you did your research. So yeah, so shout out to Buck 3000 first of all. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Buck 3000. A lot of time, I don't ever want Big Bro to get left out of the conversation. So around the same time, I got with Ed. A studio I was going to, Let's Flow Studios, was shutting down, and they pushed me over to meet Buck 3000, who was the producer and engineer for Murder Inc. You know what I'm saying? He did Ashanti's album, all the Ja Rule stuff. He got the Grammy. You know what I'm saying? So I started working with Buck. Buck was impressed. You know, he was another one that was teaching me the game as well. And then he introduced me. Then I met Ja, and then I met Chris. Dope thing with Chris was when I got to meet Chris, is he gave me so much information. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Gave me a lot of information early on in the beginning of the Adventures music that they were doing at the time. You know what I'm saying? And much shout out to, I got much love for that whole Dex Diamonds, Artie, everybody over there. You know what I'm saying? Word up.
All right.
That was did your research? Okay.
Yeah. How